Hi everyone, I'm Catherine, and today I want to share a story with you and a kind of explanation tutorial vlog for an extended period of time kind of thing to show you what I've been doing with my life this month. It's been pretty exciting and spontaneous, and this is the reason why I have been on hiatus for a little while on my channel, because I've had a lot going on. So this month I got married on January 13th, and I started planning my wedding on January 6th. This is kind of a complicated, long story, but the short version of it is that my partner is from the UK, and we decided that we want to start the process to be able to live together soon, and the best way for us to do this is to get married sooner rather than later. And it was romantic and really exciting and took a lot of creativity on everyone's part for those of us involved. So this video is how to plan a wedding in a week. The main characteristics of the kind of wedding that we planned was that it was on a budget. It was obviously last minute, not a lot of time to plan. It was local, and it was friends only because our families are in two different places, including two different countries, and couldn't come to travel to see us at the last minute. So it was a matter of gathering our nearby friends and coming up with whatever kind of event we could under those particular constraints. And before I get started, I have to explain that unfortunately my partner Billy can't be in this video with me because he's back in the UK now. He has a couple of cameos in my vlogging footage from the whole week of planning and the wedding itself, but other than that it just has to be me because we didn't have time to do this while he was here. So without further ado, starting off with day one of planning. Our entire planning system centered on finding a venue to start with. Okay, that's not really fair. We started with our officiant and then turned to venue. Because my very dear friend was able to officiate our wedding, I knew that if we did any kind of ceremony, I wanted her to be at the center of it, and she helped us brainstorm out from there, because if she's going to run a ceremony, we have to have somewhere to hold it. So we found a location in a local park where our friend had had her bridal shower previously in the summer, and it's a meeting room where it's heated and nice and good for social events and has a beautiful view of the outdoors, and it really accented the snowy nature of our wedding since it's a winter wedding. And we just built out from that, and it was magically available at a convenient time the next weekend in the afternoon, and I had a friend help us book that, and it was done. It was also very inexpensive because it was just a local community space. So the key to this is that we built outwards from the venue and planned everything around what would work in that space. And we kept it very small with just immediate friends and their partners. Since there was only a week's notice for guests, we did our invitations through Facebook and just did an event page and all of the information there. And on our event invitation, we also asked for people to volunteer to help out in any way that they were able to. If they had some free time or any ideas for us, we said, help us with ideas and with logistical tasks. So if you have tips for how to plan a wedding, if we have no experience whatsoever, we will take it. One thing that we really didn't have to worry about at all was food, because a couple of my friends just offered as a gift to us to take care of food and drink. So we gave her ideas and they went and got everything for us, and we didn't have to worry about it at all. And now let's start the vlogging off with shopping footage. This is me filming in stores without any plan whatsoever for what I was gonna buy, really, other than just a few ideas in the head of like, we need to entertain people, feed people, and make things look cute. But everything else is just decided on the spot with my friends. I am at Michael's with my friend Ozge, and we are looking for decorations for the wedding. We don't really have a plan, we just are here on the fly and want to find cute things to decorate the venue space with, and anything that would aid in our kind of guest book memento area, and just look for things to brighten up the space. Ooh, hearts. This is super convenient because it's apparently Valentine's Day time at Michael's, so we have all kinds of love-themed stuff. I also have a coupon for 20% off everything, including sale items.
Hang on the door.
That's really nice. I like the love ones too.
Yeah.
And these. I don't see how a tin can could not come in handy. And it's $1.99 plus my 20% off everything coupon.
Oh, you can put the Sharpies.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Okay, so that's the Valentine's section done, and now we're gonna go look for just other general decorations.
I would pick like a, sounds like kind of red wood is your kind of colorish.
It is now. Thanks, Valentine's Day.
And, but yeah, go, I would start over there. They have lots of good stuff.
Billy requested glitter, and I told him it was environmentally unfriendly. Yeah, I do like that. But
I mean, you can also get like one donut with the, like I have like one with paper or whatever to it.
Oh, that's way cheaper
So
than
like you can
bunting.
flip like pictures, like do some photos or something. Or,
Yeah.
You know, you could like string, just get the I think I have one. Nah.
I think you might have lent it to me.
And then just, okay. And my advice is to get extra and then return what you don't need.
Okay. What do you think? Big or little?
Little is always my goal.
Okay, we're going for little things. Our aesthetic is now wood, gold, and red.
The what? Wood, gold, and red?
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's pretty.
I think I like the gold. How much is it? I like that. I like that number as well. I found Rosanna Pansino's baking line. Unfortunately, none of this will help me with the wedding, but they're awesome. Watch her videos. So we're checking out at Michael's, and then we're gonna go to a thrift store and look for fabric for tablecloths. Can I get away with a Christmas tablecloth? They're red.
That's nice. And then, I mean, maybe you could just get a couple white ones and then garnish them.
Yeah.
Not two of it, but
Yeah. That's the color, isn't it?
the tablecloth, that's nice. Very cute. Yeah, these look the same or similar. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that.
You want to do these instead?
Yeah, that
I
might
don't
be
know how big they are,
ideal.
Well,
we
I think
can-
they have 4 tables, but you can set out 2. And people are gonna stand, and then maybe you could have 2 chairs.
Yeah.
Looks like they're a little, but that's not a big deal.
I don't care. I'll just
Okay.
use
I don't
spray
know
and wash and
how
run them through.
big these are.
You can unfold them. We now have a kind of red, white, gold, doily-esque aesthetic happening. Kind of like Osuke's outfit. I have a student discount as well. And I think some of these are on sale as well. Because of the colors of the tags. Yeah, me too. I'm back from the store now, and we managed to put together an aesthetic and a theme with pretty much no planning in advance, just based off of what was available at the stores and what was kind of featured and what was on sale. So we managed to get something cohesive going and have a look, which is really cool because I did not have a plan. I wasn't thinking about wedding colors or anything. I just knew that I needed stuff to make the room look warm and cute and that somehow represented my partner and me. Overall, I think this is a great haul, and I'm really happy with the experience of shopping for these things because it was fairly stress-free. I didn't waste time obsessing over what I was going to get. I just showed up, didn't have time to plan beforehand. I was doing schoolwork all morning and just rode there with my friends, and they asked me questions and we just looked around and figured out what we wanted to get, and it was really based off of what was available and what was affordable and on sale. So it took a lot of the stress out of having to get the perfect items and look at a ton of different stores for exactly the idea in our heads that we wanted, and we just went for warm, welcoming, inviting things that were not going to break the bank. So we just made it work. And I think I'm pretty happy with the results, and so is Billy. Honestly, the hardest part of doing this entire 1-week wedding planning thing was making sure that we got the license in time and had all of our particular documents in place to do that, since we hadn't planned beforehand. And it was really a waiting game in our particular state. It takes several days at different stages of getting the license to get it approved at different points. So we were a little bit worried that it wouldn't come through before the weekend. And then the following Monday was Martin Luther King Day, and it was a little bit stressful, but somehow magically everything worked out perfectly. There was a lot of dashing back and forth between wedding planning and checking in on our license. So we just got our marriage license, so we're gonna go home and finish planning the ceremony, and then on Saturday we bring the marriage license to the ceremony, and that's that. Clothing was another big thing that I'm sure you'd be curious about, how we worked that at the last minute, especially since my partner was traveling and hadn't necessarily planned for this formal of an event. But what was awesome was that as Christmas gifts, while he was here visiting, he received from one of my family members some really nice clothing, new blazers and sweaters and things. So he had perfect brand new clothes that still felt special to wear on his part. We did have to go to the mall to find him some shoes at the last minute, but that worked out too. But since I decided to wear a dress, and I wanted a dress that I didn't already own for this occasion, that took a little bit more planning and was a bit more stressful. We ended up getting the pieces of my outfit from several different places. So the dress was from one vintage shop in town, and then I got some jewelry from another, and then I actually found the cardigan that I ended up wearing. Since it was cold, I needed a cardigan, from Salvation Army. My dress did not go entirely smoothly though, so let's look at my vlogging footage now to see how that played out in a very DIY way. So yesterday was dress shopping day, and I scoured vintage shops all over town and tried on anything that was vaguely my size and was 1950s in style. And I tried on a lot of things that were built for people who were wearing corsets at the time, so way too big in other parts and way too small in the middle part, and then things that I'm sure were custom made to fit individuals' particular body shape. So it was actually really challenging to find anything that would fit without tailoring, since I don't have time for that. But I did manage to find a couple things that I thought might be the winner, and we finally settled on one that my partner spotted before I did. So here is the big reveal. So this is a short dress. I'm trying to see how to show you this without having to move the camera right now, but it's not super long, it's about knee length. It's got these very nice ribbons that you can wrap around and tie in different ways. And it's kind of what I would call a champagne color, a pale pink, with a bit of ivory. And it's just easy, fun, flouncy, a little bit bridal, but I didn't really want anything too bridal. But this set the formal tone of the event while still being comfortable and easy to match with other things. The only thing that was missing from this dress for me is that the skirt isn't full enough for me. I really love 1950s style dresses that have a huge circle skirt and are in at the waist and just giant from the waist down with a really full petticoat. Because this one doesn't quite have that, I decided that I wanted to try to do my own DIY on this dress to make it just a tiny bit fuller to work with the aesthetic that I have in my head and the vision that I have for what my dress would look like. So here's what I planned. At a discount thrift kind of store in town, I found a petticoat. There were not a lot of petticoats on offer at any stores. For some reason, stores that would normally be selling them weren't selling them, or ones that would were out of them. And this is the only one that I found. And I looked at it for a second and thought, there's no way this will work, it's way too short. give up, but then I decided to get creative and be artful and mindful in the way that I was thinking about what to do with my dress. So I realized I have another dress that my mom made for me, as my mom is a seamstress, which has just fabric in the slip for halfway down, and then the petticoat is just a single ruffle from halfway down the skirt. So it doesn't have a really gigantic full circle, which would be right for this dress because there's not enough room in it to have a full circle. So just a kind of small extra little bit of volume would work great, but it does give it that little poof, and I like the poof. So I'm now going to do a video call with my mother, and she's going to show me, I think, how to remove the elastic of this and just use kind of the fabric and to the petticoat part of this to tack it into the skirt. And we'll see how that goes. I don't have a lot of sewing skills, not like she would want me to, but I do know how to embroider. So I think I can do it in a pinch. So in addition to the very intense experience of having to sew something into my dress under a time constraint, the other part of planning that made us feel very under the gun was putting together craft activities for our guests. As a wedding experience, I really wanted to incorporate art and doing craft work together as part of it, and give my guests something to do while they're there in the venue space and something to interact over, and also have something memorable to take away at the end of it for my partner and me. And that was a nice conversation starter and something that we could just have fun with. On the day, the one thing that we had to do the morning of was we both wanted to get our hair done. And my hairdresser, who's a good friend of mine, actually styled our hair for free as a gift, which was really amazing. We were not expecting that at all, so that set the day off in a really good way. And then we just had to go home, get our stuff together, show up, decorate in less than an hour. I think we spent maybe half an hour decorating the space, and then everything just started and kicked off. So let's turn to some wedding footage now.